Mali.
Bending biological mystery today. Why on earth can't we regrow limbs? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a comic book, right? This ultimate biological superpower where if you lose an arm or a leg, your body just hits a reset button and grows a brand new one. But here's the crazy part. In the natural world, this isn't science fiction at all. It's a daily reality for several species. Yet for us humans, we are completely locked out of this capability. So today, we're going to break down the science of why certain animals can pull this off and why human biology ended up taking a totally different path.
Think about it for a second. You can heal a cut, but why not a finger? It's such a bizarre contrast when you really stop to look at it. Let's say you're in the kitchen, chopping up some vegetables, and you accidentally nick your finger with a knife. What happens? Your body immediately springs into action. Over the next few days, it just effortlessly patches up the damage. Boom! In a week, you probably can't even find where the cut was. Your body totally repaired that tissue. But if that exact same kitchen accident resulted in you losing the tip of your finger entirely, that's it. It is gone forever. The exact same body that so easily repaired the cut suddenly just throws its hands up and says, nope, can't do it. Why does our incredibly complex biological machinery have such a hard limit?
All right, let's get into Section 1, the regeneration superpower.
So what are we actually talking about here? Regeneration. It's defined as the biological process of regrowing, repairing, or replacing damaged or lost body parts. Now, we humans, we are absolutely fantastic at the repairing part of that definition, just like we talked about with that paper cut. But full-scale replacement? Yeah, that requires a completely different set of cellular instructions. It means your body has to somehow remember the exact 3D blueprint of the missing part, generate brand new bone, muscle, nerve, and skin cells from scratch, and assemble them perfectly. It's like a biological construction site.
Moving on to Section 2, how lizards regrow tails.
Okay, picture a lizard. When it drops its tail to escape a predator, this fascinating three-step process kicks off. First, the tail drops, detaching so the lizard can make a quick getaway. But step 2, that is where the absolute magic happens. Cells gather right at the site of the wound. See, instead of just sealing the wound shut immediately, the lizard's body sends this highly specialized mass of cells to the stump. These are essentially blank slate cells, just waiting for instructions. And finally, step 3, a new tail slowly grows. Those blank slate cells start dividing and differentiating into exactly what the lizard needs: new cartilage, new muscle, new skin. It's incredible. But pay really close attention to that word slowly in step 3. This marvel doesn't happen overnight. It can literally take weeks or even months for the lizard to fully rebuild that lost tail.
Which brings us to Section 3, how human bodies heal.
So what do our bodies do? Well, instead of regenerating, we form scar tissue. This is that tough, fibrous tissue that forms rapidly over a wound to protect the body from infection. Think of it as our body's absolute emergency response system. Our biology isn't trying to, slowly rebuild the house. It's just frantically boarding up the windows and doors so the storm doesn't get inside. The body rapidly lays down this thick collagen patch to seal the wound off from the outside world as incredibly fast as it can. And this brings us to a massive biological comparison. You've got lizard regeneration, which relies on slow regrowth, up against human scarring, which is entirely about rapid healing. So why can't we regrow a finger? Simply put, because human biology prioritizes speed over perfection. Imagine if a human loses an arm, leaving a massive open wound exposed to the air, dirt, and bacteria for months while we slowly try to grow a new one. That would be an absolute death sentence. We would die of a massive bacterial infection way before a new elbow ever started to form. The lizard can afford to take its time with a tiny little tail wound, but for a large mammal like us, an open wound is a ticking clock. Our bodies choose to scar over and seal that wound instantly just to keep us alive.
Let's look at Section 4, the ultimate biological trade-off.
When you put things into perspective across different species, humans honestly don't stack up very well here. Look at this. Lizards can regrow whole tails. Starfish, they can regrow entire arms, and sometimes an entirely new starfish can grow from just one severed arm. And us humans, we get hair and nails. I mean, sure, we also regenerate skin cells and liver tissue to a certain degree, but when it comes to actual appendages, hair and nails is pretty much the whole shebang. It feels a bit underwhelming compared to a starfish, right? But you have to remember, a starfish lives in saltwater, which is a relatively sterile environment compared to our super messy, bacteria-filled terrestrial world on land. Plus, their biological complexity is just vastly different from ours.
So here is the crucial takeaway from all of this. Healing quickly keeps us alive. Sacrificing that sci-fi superpower of limb regeneration, that was simply the evolutionary price tag for rapid life-saving healing. Over millions and millions of years of evolution, the early humans who survived traumatic injuries were the ones whose bodies aggressively and quickly formed scar tissue to block out deadly infections. They were the ones who lived long enough to pass on their genes. Actually, think about it this way. We are literally the descendants of the rapid healers, not the slow regenerators. Our scarring process isn't a flaw, it's an incredibly successful, life-saving adaptation.
But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought about the future. What if science could teach our cells to do both? What if we didn't have to be limited by that ancient evolutionary trade-off anymore? It sounds crazy, but medical science is currently studying the exact cellular mechanisms of lizards, salamanders, and starfish. Researchers are trying to figure out if we can somehow temporarily suppress human scar tissue formation and introduce those blank slate regenerating cells into a wound, but doing it in a controlled, completely sterile medical environment. If we can keep the wound safe from infection using modern medicine, could we one day actually coax the human body into remembering how to regrow a lost finger? It is for sure one of the most exciting frontiers in biology today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on today's explainer. I really hope this journey helped clarify exactly why our bodies do what they do, and hey, maybe it made you appreciate your own scar tissue just a little bit more. Keep asking those big questions, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.
Imagine, at exactly 8 a.m. tomorrow, every human on Earth suddenly disappears. No warning, no sound, no explanation, only empty cities, and one lonely planet. What happens next? Let's find out. Our Stickman character wakes up, but before taking a single step, he suddenly vanishes. At the exact same moment, every other human disappears too. The world becomes completely silent. Cars continue moving for a short time. Airplanes remain in the sky using autopilot. Factories keep running, but there is no one left to control anything. The countdown begins. Within hours, electricity starts failing. Traffic lights stop working. Cities slowly become dark. The bright world humans built begins to shut down. Pet dogs and cats wait for their owners, but no one returns. Some escape outside. Others begin adapting to life in the wild. Nature starts taking over. After a few months, grass grows through roads, trees push apart sidewalks, vines climb skyscrapers. The city slowly turns green. 1 year later, deer walk through shopping malls. Foxes sleep inside empty houses. Birds build nests on traffic lights. Animals are no longer afraid. Without cars and factories, the air becomes cleaner, rivers become clear. Fish return, forests begin expanding faster than ever. 10 years later, roofs collapse, roads crack apart, bridges rust. Without maintenance, human civilization slowly disappears. 50 years later, entire cities become forests. Only the tallest buildings remain standing. Nature continues winning. 100 years later, most houses are gone. Only giant monuments remain. It becomes difficult to believe billions of humans once lived here. Hundreds of years pass. Forests cover highways. Animals reclaim every corner of Earth. The planet looks alive again, 1,000 years later. Many famous landmarks begin collapsing. Steel rusts. Concrete breaks. Nature keeps rewriting Earth's story. Thousands of years later, almost every sign of modern civilization has disappeared. Only a few ancient structures survive. Earth doesn't need humans to survive, but humans need Earth. Nature has an incredible ability to. Our little stick man is gone, but his city has become a forest. Animals now live where people once worked and dreamed. This isn't just imagination. It's a reminder that humans are part of nature, not separate from it. Every choice we make shapes the future of our planet. So, if tomorrow became the last day of humanity, Earth would continue, nature would heal, and history would begin a brand new chapter. If you enjoyed this Stickman science story, subscribe for more amazing educational animations about science, history, evolution, and the mysteries of our world.